Hello, this is Joanne Spotted Bear. Right here, this is me on Facebook. Today is October 2nd, 2013. I am currently looking a little bit rugged this morning. Took a shower, nothing, having a rough day. Trying to get Wesley out of jail. Been making phone calls to the Fallon Pike Shoshone tribe and sending documents to the ambassador, chief ambassador of the world, who's right here. And this is his Facebook page and a personal correspondence. We've been talking to the chief ambassador of human rights about what was going on within Indian country and the late information that was being sent to the secretary on tax fraud and all these things here that would if you can read it. I'm gonna just kind of scroll down here and give you information of what's going on the horse slaughter and the stealing of horses that Sue Wallace created in Washington D.C. and Security K of getting rid of to exterminate all the Indians and what the plan was, and the ambassador, how he got a hold of me and he said he would take actions on this, and I was surprised. And we told him that we would stay in touch with him, and we gave him my email, and he said he would be at our service, and that he stood with human rights and within the international human rights organization here. He would defend and protect the people's rights, and we was telling him about different things that was going on. So I'm gonna try to back this up as best as I can, and on your own computers, if you can read and zoom in, that's great. That would help a lot. As you can tell, it also gives the time here, and also told them about the poverty and genocide issues on Indian land, and WordPress, personal web page of mine, and different letters that we have been sending him through Facebook as the best as we knew how. So some of this is gonna kind of go fast, and there's a peyote song there that was made, and how we respect our people, treaty rights, how Dr. Phyllis Day talked about treaty rights, and how the government neglects treaties here on this land. Local and state have no jurisdiction. The only one who can arrest an Indian is tribal, federal, or Washington, D.C. And this one here is going to lead into Wesley's court case, where Judge William Schaefer neglected treaty, neglected every letter we sent him, and put Wesley in jail and had him arrested. Even the police officers neglected the treaty, failed to abide, and they arrested Wesley Glenn Dick, Chief Kashwish, on hunting violations. And Wesley makes buckskin dresses like that hanging on my wall, if you can see that dress. And he makes drums like this, and Wesley is the one who gave me my eagle feathers for winning my first federal court case without having to deal within the European educational ways and the failure to teach treaties on our land. So here is all the people that we named that were on here on this letter that we had reported to the head ambassador of the world. This here is the Nevada, Jasper, Corley project, I guess. Anyway, on page 9 and 10, it mentions laws, but it says nothing about treaties at all. No treaties are mentioned on this document whatsoever. And that they do follow laws, but they don't follow treaty law. And that's a big violation because these guys get $70 million to protect and serve laws, and treaty is a law. This one here is a actually Wesley's treaty. We go down and we tell the ambassador that my laptop's going out. As you can tell, I have to use 2 laptops because that one the screen is going out and this one the screen is saved. We tell Wesley that we show the chief ambassador Wesley's ticket in Fallon, and we also show the how the ticket is. There's many things here that are wrong, and I need to pull it up. Gosh dang it, it's not there. Anyway, the first ticket, it shows that the case, they never had rights. The Fallon, let's see. The Austin and Fallon courts are local and state, and they have no jurisdiction over Indians, but here they are arresting the Indian. And this one here shows that the wild horses, one of the horses that were killed had an arrow in it and it didn't die, so they had to put him to sleep. This one shows Red Cloud, that we told Red Cloud sold his land in 1874, and him or his descendants were never supposed to be signing any treaties whatsoever at all. And they were never supposed to be in the United Nations making deals, but yet the federal government sent them there. And so Red Cloud, the Teton Treaty is the second, they are recognized as the second nation in the whole entire nation. Let me say that right. United Nations recognized the Teton Treaty as being the second treaty council in the world. That meant Lakota, Nakota, and Dakota tribes. So this here is, the first one is the Assembly of First Nations. That's all Canada. Canada has first say. Teton Nation has second say. And then the tribe in Oregon has third. And the fourth direction has fourth say, and the Indigenous Nations of the World Association have fifth. And American Indian law, American doesn't exist, so that should be out of there. International Indian Treaty Council, I don't know who runs that, but right here, the fifth one, Oglala Lakota Nation, that one right there should not be within this document, because they are part of the Lakota, Nakota, Dakota tribe, and because Chief Red Cloud had taken a woman to the Oglala Lakota Nation, and that woman fell in love with another man, he vowed to kill every Lakota, Nakota, and Dakota, even if he had to use the white man government to do it. This picture here, the way I understand, should have never surfaced the face of the earth, because our people never seen it until 2013. So with this being said, this document came up, and this is where Chief Red Cloud and Spotted Tail sold their rights. So right here, it'll say, an act of June 23rd, 1874, approximately 25,000 of the Sioux, Red Cloud, and Whitestone or Spotted Tail Agency on conditions, they said, Indian relinquished their rights under treaty and stipulations to hunt in Nebraska, and Red Cloud and Spotted Bear sold their hunting and treaty rights for $25,000. This means that this here in September 2001, they had no business within the United Nations or World Court or anywhere for selling rights or doing any kind of business for Washington, D.C., Oglala Sioux tribe, our 564 federal recognized tribes. And the only reason they would do it is to lie, to make a lie. And so the ones that need to stand up are 564 federal recognized tribes to get acknowledged within the United Nations and World Court. And those treaties that we're talking about, Wesley's Treaty, there should have been 564 federal recognized tribes who officially have a treaty like this, but these treaties have been withheld by Washington, D.C., Library of Congress. In this land, and these treaties should have been taught in grade school, high school, colleges, universities, and around the world, to everybody, letting them know that the indigenous people are still here. This is very, very important. So what we did is we took this information and we sent it to the ambassador of the world, the chief ambassador, to let them know, say, hey, look, well, Obama has no say. Oliver Red Cloud has no say according to this document. This is Oliver Red Cloud and Alex White Plume for Lakota Nation. This one here, this document, it says that the present member of the Black Hills Sioux Nation Treaty Council are not entitled to any treaty rights and or privileges to claim the Black Hills or any treaty that's based on the provision that the Fort Laramie Treaties of 1837, 1851, and 1868. Let me make a correction. That was 1831. That was the Sitting Bull Treaty. The Act of the 1889 and the Senate Bill of S. 1213 of the 11, which identified the mixed bloods as non-Indians. So if you're a half-breed and you are mixed, you are not the non-Indians of the Black Hills Sioux Nation Treaty Council, is in violation of the requirements that 3/4 of all adult male Indians, 3/4 is a white man name. As the Oglala Sioux tribe, we never went by 3/4. We always went by Foo Bloods. Foo Bloods, men and women and children all have a say. Gay, lesbian, straight, nobody was left out. This is a white man way of thinking. And so we all made a decision. And then so as we go down, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council appointed the following delegates to represent the Oglala Sioux Council and the Black Hills Sioux Nation. Okay, these guys have no say. Oliver Red Cloud sold his treaty rights, but yet the Black Hills Oglala, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council and the Black Hills Sioux Nation represented these men. They're, like we said, Red Cloud family have no treaty rights, but here they are making decisions. And so here it is in writing, and right here it's been highlighted that their rights have been relinquished. They have no rights. Whether it's his children, his grandchildren, his great-grandchildren, and the unborn. This meant all of Red Cloud. So here we go. We're going to read it to you. Oliver Red Cloud, president of the Oglala Sioux Tribe, Tribal Nation Council, and chief of the Great Eagle Society and the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council, is in direct descent of the former Chief Red Cloud of the Oglala Sioux Band, who relinquished his treaty and hunting rights, and the Black Hills claim his relinquished affected on his children. So Chief Red Cloud and his children, and then his grandchildren and his great-grandchildren and unborn. So that would mean Oliver Red Cloud and Oliver's Red Cloud's children, which is Lyman, and then Amy Red Cloud, and then Amy's children, and then their grandchildren, and any Red Cloud children thereafter. So that's what we're saying. And then when we're talking about these treaties, Obama knew these treaties were in Library of Congress and failed to tell 564 federal tribal members. And so when he gets mad, that's his mad face. We'll take a picture of that again. That's a mad face. That's a mad face. That's a mad face. The Teton Lakota Oyate Nation is, the head chief is Clifford White Eyes, Janice Badhorse, Garvard Goodplume, and there's a few of us that are mentioned on there. We'll get to that here shortly. This is number 1, 2, 3, 4, and different things. This is concerning federal government trust of onerous fiduciary duty neglect. Bureau of Indian Affairs failed their job. Department of Interior does not, and I mean does not, watch over Department of Bureau Land Management. And that's what all of these are about. This is how 300 million Indians have died, and this is the land that we're talking about. A lot of these things, I have to go through it real fast. I have another appointment here shortly. So what we're going to do is, once again, we talk about how the United Nations recognized the Teton Treaty Council, and how the ambassador says thanks for the information. We're working on this, especially the Department of Federal Affairs of the International Human Rights Resources. So we tell them about how the elderly Lakota and grandmothers and grandfathers are being told, and how the bankruptcy of the United States is challenged by Obama. And this was the short video. And this is what it says.
Of international laws.
Western diplomat.
Okay, this was...
is incapable of enforcing the most basic of international laws.
When they talk about basic international laws, those are them treaties. So Obama has no right talking about basic international laws, because he couldn't even pass out the treaties that are up here that we're talking about in Wesley's case. These treaties right here are the most basic international laws, national and international. And the judge in Austin, Nevada, Fallon, Nevada, Rapid City, South Dakota, these are the basic international laws. This lady here, her son hung himself because Pine Ridge, Oglala Sioux called them that they were begging for money, scamming for money. Meanwhile, Brian Brewer came up with a home for $225,000, and they couldn't even give her son no money to go to the doctor. And this is where her son is in the newspaper, in the obituaries. And that really bothers me. We talk about the services and what's going on, and how to get a hold of Dalbert and the family. And here's Canada, a police officer drinking a beer with a dress on around. This is a friend of mine. Her name's Lois. She stopped drinking and doing drugs, and she's been doing pretty good. And meanwhile, they were giving people in Canada a hard time. This is asking him some questions and different very important things concerning Wesley. And we talked about Sherry Rupert. We talked about human rights. We talked about the treaty of Wesley's treaty. We talked about Department of Motor Vehicles, how Wesley was resigning. We talked about the Wounded Knee Counting Cup and how the helicopters couldn't land in Wounded Knee and they didn't want them there. I told this guy a lot of stuff, especially about Judge William Schofer on September 27th, just Friday, which is a few days ago. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, approximately 5 days ago. The CC that went to David, the ambassador, Athena Brown, myself, the killings in Mexico, the different killings in Mexico, how America was involved and shouldn't be involved. These are really important things right here that are going on. You know, Hillary Clinton, WikiLeaks, and Hillary Clinton messed up in the paperwork within the United Nations. And this man right here, how he's illegally charged because he released a few thousand documents to Facebook. I think it's like 50,000 documents on Facebook concerning how America was going to be, the American government was going to destroy the indigenous people. And I wanted to get this guy out of jail, and I wanted him protected because he is a very key player in all that's going on. But no matter what, I want to know why he's been charged, where those documents are, and why they were so important to keep quiet and away from the indigenous people, because this is our land. These are documents of Fallon Pike Shoshone tribe and the horse slaughter and different things that were happening in Fallon between Lynn George and the past tribal council, Alvin Moyle. And that's what this letter is about right here. On the resolution. Oops, that wasn't it. Well, we could find it. As you can see, there's quite a bit of documents, so I have to get going. But I do want to get back to you guys on that, because this is big. The St. Pine Ridge or any other tribe, this is Fallon Pike Shoshone tribe. However, all of them have the same rules, regulations, and barriers. Every one of them are guided by the Constitution and the federal codes and regulations and by treaties. This is very, very important. These are Wesley's court documents and how he tried to tell the jurisdiction of the Austin court they have no jurisdiction. These are letters that I even wrote. This is the Austin judge right here, William Schaefer. Just get a better look at him. Let him know he's famous. Judge those who will be judged by you. This is the Gold Fringe flag and Wesley's staff, Wesley and his kids, and how this man fought for his people, and he even went to jail for unnecessary charges. This is Dean Heller. Dean Heller was also told. Dean knew what he was talking about. And still, and Eric Holder. Eric Holder is a big one. All these people here are being told. These are like so many people here that is in trouble within the state of Fallon, the Pike Shoshone tribe, and the Snake Treaty that were neglected. Wesley, Glenn, Dick, Chief Quashus is treaty. Also, the Pope wrote a letter. It's called the Apostle Letter, the Apostolic Letter, and that letter there was the letter is criminally charged. Those who are in office can be criminally charged by the Pope. This here was Rich Dad Poor Dad, who said that dangerous advice. If you're gonna go broke big. Convince people that college is for suckers. And law-breaking advice. What that meant was the 5% rich. What they said, that anything made in your house, like a lamp or whatever, it was be making money, whether it be a battery or whatever. These things are how people got rich. They didn't need to go to college, and that's why college is for suckers. Well, we got a story for them too. So this is Wesley, his different, when he was in court. Again, the ambassador replied, and he said, noted for action. And all these things, these are things that would change. These are things that would take record right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of close this up. This is Wesley going to jail. These are the people who neglected his rights. And this shows, right here shows that Wesley when he told him, wait, trying to find it right here. You called Tweety?
No, I don't have her number.
Okay. I'll be right back. Hold on.
You want to take this?
Okay, what I'm doing here is I'm trying to show these cops about Wesley's treaty, that the treaty was presented in these cops' face, and they neglected this treaty right here. There it is, right there. There's that treaty right there that we're showing to these cops, and these cops failed to acknowledge. That cop failed to acknowledge Wesley's treaty and asked me to stand back, and he did not want to listen. Right there. And there's Wesley being hemmed up and taken to jail. And rights, treaty rights, constitution, everything violated, all right there, right now. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to continue on down, and we're going to show what we have presented, everything to this ambassador. So I just want you to know that we sent him the United Nations paper again. We sent him the treaty, and we told him, we sent him the video to Sir Kurt and everything, and we are gonna log out now. And it's been a great day. Thank you.